Alright, I'll start with the HTML code, and this is the HTML code. I have an image here that I'll use as my logo, a heading here, and a list here. My items are all in a button, all wrapped in an anchor tag and my list item tag. So I'll go ahead and open this up in a browser. Now you can see what we have here: my logo, the heading, and my list. Now I'll go to my CSS file, and the first thing I want to do is change the display. So here I'll put a display and I'll set it to flex. Now when I do this and save and go back to my browser, you would notice that my items, the display has changed. Now using the justify content, I'm going to put some space between them. So I'll come down here and put my justify content, and I'll set it to space between, and I'll also give it align items, and I'll set it to center. Now when I do this and save and go back to my browser, you would see there is space between them. Now for my list here, I'm going to change the display also. So I'll go to my code, to my list, and I'll put a display there, and I'll also give it inline flex. Now when I save and go back, you would notice that the display has changed. Now I want to give my header a padding, and I'll give it 20 pixels for the top and bottom, and 2.5% for my left and right. Now you can see there is a little space here. Now next up, my items, I want to style them up little, so I'll go to my links list item button, and I'll give it a font family, and it's going to be Cambria, then sans serif. And I'm going to give it a font weight of 500. When I save and go back to my browser, you would see this. Now next up, I'm going to style up my button. So first I'm going to give it a background, color. Now here I'm going to be mixing, so I'll use the RGBA, and it's going to be 0, 136, 169, and 1. Now next up, I'm going to put my border radius, and it's going to be 50 pixels, and I'll set my border to none, and I want to give it a cursor, and my cursor is going to be pointer, and I'm going to put a transition. Now basically what I'll be saying here for all of them is to enter after 0.3 seconds, and when you're leaving, just leave at once. And I'm going to give it a padding, and let's say 10 pixel for top and bottom and 20 pixels for my left and right. Now when I save and go back to my browser, you will notice I have my button here. Now they are too close, so I'm going to put a little space, so I'll put a margin here, and my margin would be 10 pixels. Alright, that's that for my header. I want to style it up a bit, so I'll give it a font family same as this, and also I'll give it a font weight. So I'll copy that and I'll paste it here. I'm going to increase the font weight to 800, and now take note of this. Now when I save and reload, you would see this. Now I want to move this Scodemy to this place, so I'll use the margin right set to auto. Now take note of that. Margin right is going to be auto. So when I do that, it's going to move the image to my far left. So you can see that. Now I'm going to give it a font size of 30 pixels. So I'll put a font size here and I'll set it to 30 pixels. And for my logo, I'm just going to give it a cursor, and my cursor is going to be pointer. Alright, when I save and go back to my browser, you would see this. Now pointer. Oh, my heading 2, I'm also going to give it a cursor, and it's going to be pointer also. So when I save and go back to my browser, now you would see this. Now I could go. Now my button is, I need to put a hover, so I'll come down here and put my links, my list item, my anchor tag, and my button, and I'll give it a hover so that when you move the cursor around it, it's going to change. And my background is going to be this color, but I'm going to make it lighter. So I'm going to reduce this to 0.5. Now I'm going to give it a color. So when we hover, the color should be black. Now because of that, I am going to put a color here, and it's going to be white. So when I save and go back to my browser, you will notice now I have my hover. You can see it's lighter and it enters after 0.3 seconds and leaves immediately. Okay, now I could go ahead to give it my header a background, give it a background color, and that will be, let me give it a background color and set it to light gray. And next up, I want to give it a width of 100%, and I'll give it a height of 70 pixels. So when I save and go back to my browser, you would see I have this.